Great rise and beautiful beings, great rise and beautiful beings. I must call it a checkmate. I ain't celebrating yet, but I'm gonna call it a fucking checkmate. And the reason why I'm gonna call it a checkmate is I kept allowing the Psyops to interfere with my life, right? Psyops could be many things, from stalking, targeted individual, voice to skull, all the equipment, all the devices, all the technology they have, all the agendas they go by, all the all the invisible I can't even think about it right now, but anyway, they put all the invisible programs they put you in, right? So you don't know you're in the program till you start getting this repetitive thing happening, right? So the Psyops people try to put psychological trauma onto you, okay? There's no reason for you to have intrusive thoughts. They're not your own. You could be somewhere out happy, drinking a smoothie, taking beautiful pictures, and all of a sudden, this intrusive thought just come through your head. So this is how it became a checkmate. I kept saying, them not my thoughts. I don't think like that. Like, I could be done cooked a nice meal, about to drink some wine, and then this thought just interfere with my peace. And I'm like, nah, y'all gotta stop. Then Spirit said, don't let them stop. Because the same way they think they sending that shit out incognito, they not sending it out incognito. And every time they send it out to you, every time they attack you, 1 million of them got to die. Straight up. So then a light bulb came on. And finally, I humbled down and said, if they didn't send this out to you, trying to destroy you from the inside out, because see, psychologically, that's why you don't let people tell you an end date, a death date, or something wrong, or you got a goal and somebody just dismissed that shit. They try to tell you something like, no, you should do something else. That's not you, or something like that. But I know I have a worldly global mission, and they don't want people to know that. That's why when I created the hashtag Black Global Wisdom, they shadow banned my Instagram account from using it. I had 3 Instagram accounts using Black Global Wisdom, and they shadow banned it. The only account they would let use Black Global Wisdom was a plant-based essence. My vegan vegetarian account, where I don't post anything with no animal product. I think I had some egg yolk noodles one time, but other than that, once I realized it was egg yolk noodles, I clarified it. But that was the only, like, anything that dealt with talking about the world, talking about technology, talking about Psyops, they would not let me use hashtag Black Global Wisdom on Instagram. And I thought that was weird that they made it so none of my posts showed with that hashtag. Yeah, y'all got to pay attention to that. You think you're doing something, but they're blocking your hashtags. Yeah. They literally blocked 2 of my accounts from using that hashtag. Okay, so back to it. So finally, when that light bulb came on, it was like all my guardian angels and everything was around. And they said, Sky, you don't get it yet, do you? I said, no, I don't. They said, you gotta live like this, or else you're not gonna realize what's available to you. You gotta keep thinking about cleaning, detoxing, healing, rejuvenation. Not just sex, but tantra. Not just exercise, but releasing stagnant energy. Not just yoga, Pilates, or meditation, but actually releasing trauma. Not just eating plants, but eating wild plants. Not just taking supplements and vitamins, but eating wild supplements and vitamins. Not just getting your vitamin C from where they tell you to get it from, the store. Go forward your own. And when them Psyops send them thoughts to you, thank them like they God. Thank them like they're a blessing. Because if they didn't send them thoughts to you and make you feel the way you felt, you'll think you perfect. You'll think you're the best of the best. If your ear didn't itch, if your menstrual wasn't fucked up, you'll be around here just like everybody else, eating hamburgers, pizzas, wings, until your body just fall apart in your 50s and 60s. When you're wondering why you got inflammation that you can't get rid of because it done turned into arthritis. You've overcome so many things, psychologically, physically, emotionally. Thank them for it. Because every time they say something stupid, you go and you research more and more plants. Every time they try to make you feel like you don't deserve to be on this planet, you go do more and more and more research on your life. You go and experiment the same way they out there getting people to experiment with placebos and real shit, having side effects. You take a risk. You've taken a sacrifice to sacrifice yourself for your own internal dialogue. If you was able to eat all them chicken wings and all that pizza every single day, and then slowly when you get in your 40s and 50s, you allow them to put you on some form of medication, you would have lost. You needed to go exactly through what you've gone through in life to stay connected to nature. Who you know gonna eat dollar weeds, wood sorrel, sheep sorrel, yellow dock, curly dock, sour dock, burdock? Yeah, because Dr. Sebi said it. Dr. Sebi also said yellow dock did not grow in the United States. And truth be told, these greens like cold weather. They're just like collard greens and cabbage. They thrive off temperatures of 50 and 40 degrees. They thrive off of it. They love waterways with mineral-rich iron oxide. That's metal or steel that's in the soil that has oxidized over the years and made red dirt, red clay. They love it. They eat it up. When you get some real pungent yellow dock root, it's so yellow that the yellow floats in your eyes. When you, listen to me clearly. I've been doing this a long time. When you get some real yellow, concentrated yellow dog root, not the greens, but the root, and you dry it out and you drink it as a tea, do you know your vision turns yellow? Everything, when you're looking out at the world, it's yellow. Yeah, I've done it several times. And I went to my mother and said, oh my God, everything I'm looking at is yellow. That's how potent that shit is. If you find the right supply in an iron oxide, in the iron belt. So what did this come to? I kept saying, why am I buying all these herbs and stuff and studying them and researching them and using them to cleanse my body? Let's see what's in my neighborhood. Let's see what's at the park. Let's see what's here. So the Checkmate is just like this. They've been trying to psychologically tear me apart. Oh yeah. And then it don't get any better. What you think about is advertised. You ain't even got to say it out loud. You're just thinking. You're thinking like, what color do I want to paint my nails? And all of a sudden, all this advertisement about, or the algorithms will send you a bunch of people doing nails and artwork and stuff like that. You may look in the mirror and say, should I go get my teeth bleached? You have not said nothing out loud. This is what you call hacking the human body. You ain't said nothing out loud. You're just looking in the mirror saying, should I go get my teeth bleached? They're a little yellow. You know, because the phones can lie to you. Because the phone is going to brighten your teeth whiter than they actually are. So, you're looking in the mirror and in your head, you're thinking, should I get my teeth bleached today? And then next thing you know, they start shooting all these purple products on your channel. You might look in the mirror and say, dang, I wish I could get rid of these acne scars. Next thing you know, they want to start showing you videos and shit and products for acne scars. And you haven't said it out loud. You said it in your head. So the same way they're able to monitor your thoughts, the same way they're able to feed you intrusive thoughts. Say it again, revereskye. The same way they're able to monitor your thoughts is the same way they're able to send you intrusive thoughts. So, again, the Checkmate came from all my spirit guides, my soul, my oversoul, my spirit, the God within me saying, baby, we had to put you in this struggle. All these trials and tribulations, all these trials and errors with nature. So you can realize how to fight the biggest fight ever, and that's inflammation. Inflammation, whether that be in your reproductive organs, your knee, your ankle, your hand, your whole neurological system. You have studied and researched stuff that people don't even know to put two and two together. They're so far from the truth or reality of studying that they're clueless. And you've found the knowledge, which is power beyond measures. Listen clearly. Once I called Checkmate on their ass, guess what happened? I got a little lonely. I ain't never lonely. They always blowing smoke, trying to cause me frustration intrusively, right? It's springtime, so you got all the herbs, everything, right? Yeah, everything is bountiful and beautiful. I said, you know what? Y'all keep that up. Keep telling me that sadistic ass shit. Keep making me feel like I'm not worthy and nobody would ever want to be around me. Listen, you helped me out. You helped me to stay isolated to the point where I could actually do more research every year, every single year, studying on myself, purging myself, cleansing myself, going through the meditation and the grounding and the earthing, swimming in oceans, swimming, all types of stuff that drive me to keep my will as strong as possible. See, because they try to take your free will away from you. If you so perfect, you're going to keep allowing your oppressor to feed you. If your body is perfect, listen clearly. Clean bill of health, perfect body, perfect mind, sound. You see nothing wrong with your enemy feeding you. Say it again, revereskye. Clean bill of health, perfect body. Meaning your body is able to tolerate the poison. Do you know how many men body have been able to tolerate the poison, but when they get 40 and 50, they dick don't work? Say it again, revereskye. Do you know how many men out there that was able to tolerate the poison, but by the time they got 40 and 50, they dick didn't work no more? Do you know how many women out there were able to tolerate the poison, but next thing you know, they lost the cartilage to their hip bone? Do you know how many women out there were able to tolerate the poison, but then next thing you know, they end up with some type of cancer? Perfect skin, perfect body, no bags under their eyes, but they on 1,000,000 medications. Do you know after a while, if you're not consuming living, cellular, wild things with seeds that reproduce naturally through the God-given right of the matrix, shit start to happen? Do you know these people whose bodies able to tolerate these poisons, they might outlive me? That's not the reason why I'm here. My job is to realize that just because it's not in the store don't mean that it ain't powerful and it ain't relevant. It's not in the store because it would interfere with other medications. Say it again, revereskye. And this is hypothetically, theoretically, allegedly. This is for entertainment purposes all day, every day. The reason why that lettuce at the store is the way it is because they have hybridized it to the point where the potency, do you know wild lettuce numbs the body? The wild lettuce, all of them. Do you know sow thistle, milk thistle, it's got cooling agents in it? Do you know plantain leaves help with wounds externally and internally? Imagine if you got an irritated digestion, whether that's your gastric, your big colon, your little colon. Imagine this. It's irritated. Whenever you eat, it's just like something's bothering you. That's high levels of acid that has become irritated, right? And you may think it's an ulcer, but it may not be an ulcer. It may be a form of high acid irritation, but it can turn into one if you don't know how to regulate your acids. Now, imagine you got some plantain and you make plantain juice. Or you dry the plantain and put it in a fiber so that it can go all the way down your digestion tract. That's a cooling agent. Sow thistle the same way. But people don't realize that. People don't realize that. I'm starting now to eat more plants that have mucilage. Mucilage is the slime like okra. There's a wild plant with trumpets that grow in front of my house on the street. Has a high concentration of mucilage. Do you know what mucilage does for the intestines? We need it, especially the woman. You wondering why your woman having dry spells, but she's sitting up here bitching saying she don't eat okra. She need to be eating as much raw okra as possible. Okra, first of all, has seeds in it. So that's information. Second of all, that's a mucilage. And her vaginal tract is supposed to slime out just like that okra. Say it again, revereskye. Her vaginal tract is supposed to slime out, meaning it's supposed to have that same thick aloe vera nectar. But no, 9 out of 10, she's somewhere washing that bitch out manually, not receiving enough mucilage to help those glands in the uterus. Yeah, there's so much I could say. But I thank the Psyops team for pushing me to be my best and to continue to study nature and to study myself. See, the Psyops team, let me get back to that. For the last 3 days, I've been feeling a little lonely. And I said, you know, ain't nobody been bombarding you with thoughts, intrusive thoughts in the last 3 days. Like even when I'm out foraging or picking something, nothing. And I'm like, what is going on? And Spirit said, checkmate. I said, so you mean to tell me that's true? When I said, oh, keep feeding me this. Keep trying to psychologically cause me to unalive myself. I said, keep feeding it to me because you're helping me to keep studying everything available to me. Do you know I was walking in the shrubs of Arizona in the desert and I ran across what's that herb? Chaparral. With the blossoms and the seeds. This was last year. I'm just walking in the desert, finding a spot to sit down and sunbathe in the Arizona sun. And this bush, I already had chaparral by the pounds. I had like 3-4 pounds of chaparral. But I'm out here and I'm getting acacia tree bark and gum, and I'm getting this other bush that said chaparral. Now, I know what chaparral smell like. Chaparral smell like tar or burnt oil. It smells like oil. It smells like pure oil. Like if you go to California, they got tar pits and it be tar stuck to your foot. That's oil. That's a form of oil. And you smell it. It's pungent. I done tasted it. Chaparral smells like burnt chemical tar oil. So when it said the tree was chaparral, I just grabbed the bush and smelled it. Because I know what chaparral smell like. I know what chaparral tastes like. I know what chaparral do for the body. Because I've experimented with myself to see how I feel, my energetic levels. What changed with me. Now, peep game. When you're studying yourself, trial and error, you're doing the best you can do. So they have driven me for the last 7 to 10 years. Ever since smartphones came out, because that's when they was able to find a pathway to get to you. That device in your hand is what caused them to be able to monitor your thoughts and send thoughts back to you. So finally I knew it was checkmate. Because their psychological, what they was trying to do to traumatize me did not work. It just made me want to do more research to better understand life within itself. And I said, y'all ain't broke this body down yet, have you? I said, matter of fact, keep feeding me them thoughts. I said, because that's going to make me want to understand and learn about more plants from different regions of the world, especially the United States. I know plants that go all the way across from the East Coast to the West Coast, but they stay at a certain longitude and latitude. I know plants that go all the way up 95, but they will not go past I-85, I-75. I know plants that you could only get in airy, dry areas. I know the shrubs that will be in North Arizona that go all the way up to North Dakota. I've done this. And because of them, I've done it. That's when all my angels and spirit guides and everything that works with me inside and out said, baby, you winning. You're fucking winning. Every time they send you some foul ass fucking intrusive thoughts, you just go out and do more research. I remember when, see, they weren't able to jam our dreams until we got these smartphones. And I had a dream that I had a full botanical underground, something like a laboratory, but it was a botanical. And I kept saying, what are y'all doing in my shop? Y'all ain't got no business being here. And it was 2 white women. It was like I was dead or I could see the future. And I'm fussing, but they can't hear me or see me. But for some reason, they had access to my whole botanical garden. And I was fussing about it. And I was actually in my youth. I wasn't an old lady or old witch or nothing like that. I was in my youth. And like early 20s. And I had a whole botanical. So it could have been a past life or a parallel life. A parallel life is a life that's running simultaneously with you. A parallel life is a life where you've dreamed about it several times and you pick up where you left off. A lot of people don't know about parallel lives. Parallel lives are running simultaneously with you. So when you go to sleep, you're either in a construct, you're either in another time and dimension, but you're living multiple lives. You're overseeing another form of you in a different time and space on a different timeline. Parallel lives, you pick up where you left off. So when you go to a dream and you like, damn, this dream deja vu. And you like, damn, I dreamed about these people before. I was here before. That's a parallel dream. That's a dream that you can continuously go back to because you're actually living there. You're living under some type of system there. Except for your soul is not tethered. Your spirit is not tethered. You're overseeing it. You're overseeing that life. That's why 7 years ago I explained that I went into the dream world and killed off other versions of myself because it was consuming me. It had me going back to be in these lives. And I said, right now, the most important life you need to focus on is me. Yes, it was a very selfish situation. But I actually went into other parallel lives that are running simultaneously with this life and knocked them off. Because it was an overconsumption. And because technology is monitoring us now, I didn't need them monitoring where I was able to go, who I was able to be. So there we have it. Unearth the magic. The truth will definitely set you free. And definitely checkmate you fucking bitches.